Gentrification in Latin America. Today we discuss.
Welcome to Venezuela Insider, the only place in Venezuela for expats, digital nomads, entrepreneurs, investors, travelers, and related internationals. For more information, venezuelainsider.com.
So today we are going to talk about this phenomena going on in Latin America, well, worldwide. It's called gentrification. First, what the word means is basically the process where a particular area, a particular city is becoming more popular, more expensive for more wealthy individuals with better incomes and so on. So this particular area or this particular city becomes more expensive regarding cost of living, regarding rent, mortgages, also leisure and hospitality, restaurants, so on. So living overall on those particular places becomes more expensive for the average population. Recently, we have seen this phenomena occurring in places like Playa del Carmen, Tulum, Cancun, Mexico City, especially in areas like Roma Norte, Condesa, Polanco. Also in other places in Latin America like Panama City, Costa Rica, lately in Medellin, Colombia, and most likely other places that we're going to see recently in Latin America as well. Now, that brings some conflicts, some issues between the average local population and right now the expats coming to those places. What is going on right now is that many Western expats are preferring living in Mexico, Colombia, Costa Rica, Panama, whatever may be the case, compared to the United States, for instance, or Canada, or European Union, and so on. What happens is right now also we have the phenomena of working remotely, working from home, and these particular places, they have a steady income, a sufficient income that, remember, a US income, if you bring it to Latin America, is gonna go way, way higher regarding cost of living. Let's say you make something like 60, 80K per year, and on an average American city, on the big ones, is not gonna get you as much. Most likely a middle class life, probably less than that, because United States, it's getting more expensive as well. So if you move to Mexico or Colombia or other of these destinations in Latin America, this money is gonna go way further. It's gonna give you most likely a high class living on those particular places. So the issue comes when, of course, everything becomes more expensive on particular cohorts of a city, of a whole city, some cases a whole country, with the average population, because they start blaming the average expat and international for their struggles, financial struggles in their hometowns. And I have to be fair, because most of the people that, regarding migration to the Western countries, the people that complains the most usually are unsophisticated, unsuccessful people, or just racist people that live in the United States and Western Europe and so on. And they complain a lot about migrants when actually migrants, on the grand scheme of things, provide more value to their societies. They don't take anything for granted. They work very hard. They need opportunities. Everything is more difficult for them. And usually, well, I have to be fair, right now, to the average Western expat and international living in these places in Latin America, well, I have to be fair with these people. And I have to say as well that mostly the people that complain about the gentrification in Latin America, yet again, less successful people, less sophisticated people, and also racist and xenophobic people that, of course, Colombia and Mexico has a bunch of those. Okay, now, the difference here is that in Latin America, the opportunities in order to create wealth from scratch are more scarce. It's very, very hard to leave poverty from in Latin America compared to the United States. However, and this is a particular metaphor that I was listening to a peer of mine, that the line between being poverty line and middle class in Latin America For instance, in Europe and the United States, it's very thin because if you get a decent job, let's say, on these particular places, you have access already, talking in the US and Europe, so on, you're already middle class. You have access to rent a decent apartment, maybe get a nice car with credit, of course, using credit, and nice amenities and so on. So you can have very decent standards of living if you get a job opportunity or something like that. But if you lose that opportunity, you lose your job, and going to that line again is very easy because you've lost that income very quickly, and you have to pay rent, you have to make a bunch of monthly payments in order to keep those standards of living that if you lose your job, you're not going to be able to keep up with. Now, in Latin America, that line is very thick. It's very, it's strong. It's a strong line because living poverty in Latin America is very, very difficult becoming middle class because most jobs are crap, let's be honest. And in order to get an apartment and so on, and get in a car, so they don't have as much access to credit and so on and so on. So maybe you have to pay your car or your particular property from scratch or with a hefty down payment and so on. Now, going back to poverty from middle class in Venezuela, talking in Latin America, I'm sorry, it's harder because let's say you lose your job, you struggle on your business, something of that nature. It's very, very, very hard to, you have to be very special in order to raise above poverty or scale on the socioeconomic ladder. Or when you're over there, let's say something happens, you lose your job, something goes wrong with your business, and so on. Leaving that going again to the poverty line is very difficult, but most likely when things go badly or when you're ready successfully climb the ladder in Latin America, you already probably have a home that you already pay for or is mostly likely paid. You already have your own car that is not on credit. You own that car. Where everything you have, you already own it, your assets, you already own your assets. So, of course, it's going to be hard, when you lose your job, your income, your business, whatever may be the case, but you still have a good base. And usually, if you are middle class, your peers are going to be your family. We have larger family networks and friends networks here in Latin America. So you're going to support each other. Your peers are going to have assets as well, can help you more easily, and so on and so on. So you already have a base. So that it will make very hard to go to the poverty line. That also the poverty line in Latin America is way lower because, for instance, in the United States, the poverty line is $13,000 per year, something like that. In Latin America, it's very low, a few dollars per month. So most likely you're going to be over that poverty line if you build something in Latin America. Having said that, many people, they're going to complain in Latin America, most likely uneducated, unsophisticated, are the ones still with difficult lives, are the ones that are going to complain about the presence of Western internationals in the big cities in Latin America. Instead of seizing the opportunity in order to create something new, maybe offering some product, some service, creating something from scratch in order to, take advantage of the opportunity. Now, I cannot be, just cynic saying this because in Latin America, the means of production usually are seized by a handful of people, either close to the government or very rich families, all money, depending on the place in Latin America. So it's very hard to capitalize that opportunity for an average in Latin American citizen. So the bottom line is that I know it's a complex situation that you have to face in Latin America if you're an average citizen of those particular places like Medellin or Mexico City and so on. But it's something that you cannot legislate your way out because you cannot prohibit the entrance of internationals to your home country. Now, I've heard something that Mexico maybe is going to get harder regarding, the entry for Americans, something like that. It's not like they're going to prohibit it, but it's not going to be as easy as it was on the recent past. Same thing with Colombia. And something that you have to maneuver is not if you're an average Latino watching this, something that you have to look the best outcome for yourself regarding maybe creating an opportunity and so on, because it's going to be an opportunities over there, but not blame these particular people. Actually, that's a result of success when someone from other country wants to visit your country and sometimes even stay long enough in order to live in your country. That's something that helps a lot the local economy, creates incentives for businesses, services, entrepreneurship, and so on, and also culture, because you can intertwine and you can interchange cultural experience, also business opportunities, also create maybe new ideas in order to increase the quality and standards of living of both the international and also the local citizen. It's an opportunity. At the overall situation, it could be advantageous for everyone involved if things play along fine.
Thank you for watching Venezuela Insider. Please like, share, and subscribe. Follow us on social media. If you want to work with us, VenezuelaInsider.com. Thanks again and have a nice day.